Turnkey with Morgan Francis, sponsored by Integrity Roofing.
Welcome into Turnkey on Queen City News Plus, your go-to show for everything real estate in the Carolinas. We dive into the latest market trends, do's and don'ts of the industry, and provide expert advice on navigating this dynamic landscape that we call home. I am your host, Morgan Francis, and on today's episode, we are going to introduce a couple of agents who are doing some really interesting marketing techniques, and we're going to discuss what really makes it so successful, particularly on Instagram. So our first guest is Nydia Guzman. We're going to bring her in here. She is a real estate agent out of Atlanta, Georgia. Correct, Nydia?
Yes, that's correct.
And you have done some really unique marketing techniques. I want to play some of them for our viewers, and then we'll get into kind of what the ideas were behind some of those videos. So let's take a look.
Ahora bien, en las nuevas construcciones ahorita, todos los builders quieren vender. Estas son las tres cosas que impactan tu pago mensual y probablemente no lo sabías.
So that is, those are a couple of videos. Obviously, they are in Spanish. And then this one, Nydia, I really like because the production quality is super impressive. I want to get into this one first.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys actually paused? How do you shoot a video like that?
You know, it was very easy. It was from the phone. Normally, people think that you can have to have a big production to do this. No, you just have to have the attitude. Like, yeah, I have my team that they say you have to do this and that, and I will do it. It was by phone. This is created by phone, and we just pause. Mm-hmm.
And then this video, you guys are on the roof. You have some guts, I will say that, because I don't know if there's anything that would get me up on the roof of a home, but very, very clever. How do you come up with the ideas to shoot these videos?
You know, normally we want to show the house, my sellers, so we say do something different. So when they say something different, you know, I start thinking what we can do with this. So they want to see the house, they want to show all the things that the house has. So we start from there, you know, showing people what probably normally people don't do because people don't get into the roof, but we do. So it's different, and people call me and people say, oh, I want you come to list my house because you're at the roof of the house. If you're at the roof of the house, you can do anything.
Hey, if you can sell the roof, you can sell the inside, right? Nydia, I noticed that a lot of your videos on Instagram are in Spanish. You yourself are from Colombia,
Yeah.
and even the text is in Spanish. And I think in a world that is so dominated by English speakers, the real estate industry, I would imagine that that's kind of a niche market for you, for your clients to feel more comfortable knowing that they can speak their native language and there's no room for, misinterpretation.
Exactly. People like that, you know, we completely work with the community, the Latino community, and we help a lot. Actually, we have clients, American clients, you know, believe it or not, I have clients that they just see my videos, they don't understand, but they like it.
Mm-hmm.
And they
And
come. Ahora bien,
how long have you been in the United States? I mentioned that you were from Colombia.
yeah, I'm from Colombia. I've been here for 20 years already.
Wow.
Mm.
And what do your clients who have seen you online and have reached out to you because of that, what do they say was the thing that attracted them most to you as a real estate agent?
I think it's the personality. I think it's the energy. You know, when you're in Instagram or TikTok, you have to show something that you have inside.
Mhm.
That is the energy to do things. So if they see that, because through education, through the videos, it's not just funny videos. It's educate people to get into the house. I help. I do the whole process through videos too, because we have like a inside chat, and I send the videos saying, for example, today is the inspection day. Today is this. O sea, through videos, we do everything.
So it's not just marketing on Instagram, which is, the big moment that you have thousands of views, right? That's fun. But you send videos along the way. So it sounds like your marketing starts maybe on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media websites, but then the marketing continues throughout the process. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct.
So you've been doing this for 20 years, at least in the US for 20 years, right? How has it changed throughout the years and how have you adapted? Because this stuff wasn't around 20 years ago.
No, I remember when I used to knock doors. I walk around the Walmart, I walk around the Publix, all the supermarkets, trying to
Probably
find,
sweating, right?
yeah, cold and hot, you know. But I communicate with people. And one of my dreams, it was like people have the house because normally when you come here, you think it's impossible to have a house. In that moment, it was not impossible, but it was not many people helping the community. So I start working with the community. I start work with program for minorities. So I start helping people. And actually, I did a book for my community that is Tu Casa Propia in USA because this helps a lot. This helps a lot. I want everybody become owner of the house, ownership. They have ownership in the house. So, I mean, this is really important for me too.
That's awesome. And if people are looking to read your book, where can they find it?
Amazon.
Amazon. Everything's on Amazon, right? Except for a good real estate agent.
Yeah.
Nydia, would love to hear just kind of your final thoughts on where you think the real estate industry is headed.
I think with AI and, all these platforms, I think we can do a lot. We can get, normally like, with my experience, before it was I help 80 families a year, 100 families. Right now we heading 200. So it's a lot through Instagram now with AI. You can do videos and it's not me, it's AI, and you can reach more people.
Yeah, it's interesting. And it is interesting how agents are using AI to write their listings to make sure that they're really hitting home the points that they want to emphasize with a property, because sometimes you just want to get the words out, but you can't find the right words. And then when you punch it into AI, all of a sudden there are all these ideas and you're like, man, that's done really well.
Mhm.
Nydia, thank you so much for joining us on Turnkey. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Best of luck in your real estate journey, and maybe we'll have to have you on again sometime soon.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me here.
Welcome back to Turnkey on Queen City News Plus. We've been talking about some clever marketing techniques that real estate agents are using to get their business out there, their name out there. And I'd like to bring in Paula Waters. You're not from North Carolina. You live in Georgia, right?
Carrollton, Georgia, 50 miles west of Atlanta.
What brings you to the Queen City besides, of course, coming on Turnkey?
Well, it's our Georgia Association of Realtors meeting. It's our yearly meeting.
Mhm.
And so we chose Charlotte, the Queen City, as one of the areas that we would hold our conference. So that's how I'm here.
So I found you on Instagram with some of your clever videos that you had posted, and some of them I was laughing out loud at my desk. But before we get into that, I'd love to hear just your background in real estate, how you got into it, and how you kind of have created this career.
Right. Well, my sweet husband of 54 years just said one day, he said, I think you need to get in real estate and we need to start buying some investment properties. And I said, not me. I don't know anybody. I mean, I'm not in the in crowd. And he said, I think you can do it. So anyway, kicking and screaming, that's how I really got into real estate.
Which maybe you're still kicking and screaming today. I would love to play a clip
Go
of
right
some of your social media. Okay, here it is. Watch.
You asked me the question, would my father use somebody other than me as his agent? No, no, that won't happen. Here's what I'll show you.
Dairy Queen closes in 10 minutes.
Your husband, I'm assuming. And there's a kicking part. And hey, Paula, I give you props for that one because in heels in any job, your feet hurt. But balancing like
Oh,
that on a countertop,
Oh, yeah, and I used to do it when I was younger with I'd have one child on one hip and one on the other with my high heels.
yeah.
But as you get older, it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw this high heel challenge and trying to keep up with the social media times, I thought, heck, I can do hard things. I'm used to doing hard things, and this is just one of them. And actually, my sweet college videographer said, Paul, you're going to fall. I said, don't worry about it. I'm not afraid to do hard things. And so I did it. And real estate is the balancing act.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted people to know that even though with age, it is a challenge, but we do hard things. And I wanted the public to see what I can do.
Let's talk about that. The challenge of kind of the evolution
Right.
of the industry and trying to continue to make a splash because you can't be complacent in real estate. You
Yeah.
have to keep trying. You can't just rely on, your basket of leads to always be reliable. So
Absolutely.
what has that been like for you to explore marketing yourself in this way?
Well, it really started out with my trainer, whom she's just one of my very best friends. She just mentioned to me one day, "You need to be promoting yourself on Instagram." And I said, "I hate pictures. I hate to look at myself. I don't like to promote myself." And she said, "You've got to do it." And so I just dug in. There was a college student, and she's also in one of my classes, and she's precious. And she needed a job to supplement her while she was going to nursing school. So I thought this is one way that I can help is help her
Mm-hmm.
supplement with the money that she needs to go to nursing school, and she'll help me. And so that's really how it all started. I can't give myself credit for it, but then I would just go through reels and I would see all these reels and I thought, these are so cute. And I wanted people to see that I was real, REAL, and could have fun instead of making these glamorous videos, And what I've told her is I never want to you don't have to show me what we've done. If my hair's messed up, it's just all a go.
It's genuine.
And so anyway, and that because I didn't want to be that person for somebody to see that I had to be so fixed to do my job.
And I think that's what I got from your videos is they're cute. They're fun, they're cute, they're lighthearted, and you get a sense that there's a real person behind the video, which sometimes I feel like can be lacking overall on social media these days.
Right. Well, and I have a passion for real estate, and I feel like I continue to be educated. I think you have to have education to continue to stay up with the times. That's why I'm here this week. And I've performed many levels at my local board, and now I'm on the state committee and then president-elect of RRC for Georgia for 2026. And I'm just honored. And there's, I tell myself, you can't do this, but I keep preaching to myself, I can do hard things. It may be out of my comfort level, but I'm willing to try.
I think this coming on our show, admittedly, was maybe a little bit out of your comfort level. You're doing fantastic. I would imagine that starting videos like what the ones that we're watching would be out of your comfort zone because where do you start? But what video do you feel like got the most traction? And the $1,000,000 question, have you ever gotten someone who said, I saw you on Instagram and I'd love to chat with you about buying a home or selling a home?
Oh, yes. I mean, just like when I've been, and you never know what exactly it comes from, but just since I've been here since Sunday, and I have 4 opportunities that people have called me to list their homes. And all over the state, people have been coming to say, I know who you are. You're Paula Waters. I love your reels. And so, a person with what you see, and, they just want to talk to you and know all about it. And we all feel like we're in it. to do these kind of things
Mhm.
because it is out of our comfort zone. But to do them is a challenge, but for the most part, we're all in for a challenge.
Well, and it keeps it lighthearted at the
It
same
does.
time. What was the favorite video, if you could think back? Because you've made a lot of them. What's your
have.
favorite video to make?
I think my favorite one was the one that I was in the bushes with my feet standing straight up.
Okay, so were those actually your feet?
Oh,
Were
they're
you?
my feet. I was on the ground. Yes, I was on the
How did you
ground.
get back out?
I just laid down on the ground and and one of my really good friends drove by and he said, "Am I seeing things? Are you in the bushes?" And I said, "Drive on." And he took pictures of me with my feet sticking up. I mean, it was kind of intimidating, but it was all in fun. And it's things that we actually go through, like looking for lock boxes.
Looking for the darn lockbox. I mean, I can't tell you the places that you look in the instructions. You're like, okay, it says that it's around to the side, and you're like, it's not here, and you're sweating because it's hot, and it's for us, the Carolinas, for you, Georgia.
Absolutely.
So I can relate.
Yeah, but it's all fun. It really is. And I'm not trying to emulate, the young, beautiful women. That's not what I just want the public to see that I'm fun, I'm knowledgeable, and I can work hard for them.
Paula, thank you so much
You're
for
so
coming
welcome.
on
Thank
our
you,
show.
Morgan. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Turnkey on Queen City News Plus. We have been talking with real estate agents about their unique marketing tactics and how they kind of generate some business. This next guy doesn't really need an introduction, but let's take a look at some of the clips that Mike Heggie has to offer. All right, so let's bring in Mike himself. Mike, some of the best video that you have out there, not like you needed to make a splash because you were already well known in the community, but it was this video of essentially you breathing and huffing and puffing.
I was. I'm glad I could be here today breathing with you and live and in person. The video was done last summer and it was a playful Gen Z. We sent a video. It was supposed to be a home tour and she took out all the parts of me speaking, which you traditionally think is a normal home tour video, and just put me, as you see on the screen, of just all the outtakes.
Not selling any houses right there.
No, more like the hair quaffs.
Yes. So what did you think when they sent that back to you? You're like, really? We're going to put this online?
It it certainly crossed your mind on, I think there's a tendency to where you want to put yourself out there the best possible light.
Yeah.
It's also okay to show a funny side of you or the real side of you, and things don't always have to be perfect to accomplish that. So we found that it really resonated with a lot of people for many reasons. And in fact, it went to a multitude of different countries out there. Because there was no English. It was just breathing. So the overall...
That's universal language. Everyone understands a huffing and puffing, right?
Even if you're not...
Look at this American. So how do you balance then trying to, attract attention and clients from online versus becoming like an influencer and you're spending all your time getting these videos ready and no time showing houses? Because I would imagine that it can suck up plenty of your time, right?
Oh, it definitely can. And we view it as replacing, social media with just modern day marketing. So if it were to sell houses and get attention by being in the newspaper, we'd still be there. And we are to some degree. We try all different forms of marketing, but social media marketing for most entrepreneurs that are putting themselves out there today is a great way to have reach, to speak to an audience, to build community. And I don't think it takes as much time. There's a tendency to where if you do it right and you batch content, you kind of come up with series and creative team. We've got a great creative team. Most of them are Gen Zers. So they have the really creative streaks and they help, millennial and Gen Xers on the cusp.
They got their finger on the pulse.
They know what's going on. Yeah. So they're smart. They know how to work it.
So did your breathing video serve as kind of a launch pad to other creative content?
I think so. I mean, prior to, you never know what's going to land. You put yourself out there in a multitude of different ways.
What if it doesn't? You're sitting there watching the legs. What if it doesn't land? Do you delete it?
Well, we leave it out there, and we have some old videos that were just horrendous. And I think if we hadn't got the reps, we wouldn't have put together, what we have today, which we feel like is a really good, messaging for people. We hope that it connects with people. We hope you're there to be entertained, but also encouraged and inspired to some degree. So we're there to put it out there and continue that. And then the hope is that you continue to land with people. You do resonate with analytics. You start going deeper with that. Like where's your audience coming from and how do you resonate with them? What kind of messaging, getting really crystal clear on what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to gain out of that. But marketing really is to make the phone ring.
Okay. So it sounds like you're getting to know almost like the algorithm.
Yeah.
Which would be nice for me to figure out, because sometimes I'm watching a video and I'm like, how did I get it?
Why is that showing up on my feed?
What is my algorithm? But realistically, I mean, it's like a full-blown education.
It's true. Yeah, you're starting a fresh page. You almost have to figure out like what your message in and go deep with that topic. I think for a lot of real estate agents out there in the community and nationwide, people want to see behind the scenes, want to see like the real stuff. They don't want to see the polish and the pretty. There's a place for that, but that's not the entire story. We know that life has ups and downs, and I think sharing those pieces make you human and makes resonate with other people.
Which I think is sometimes the biggest obstacle as a real estate agent, is getting someone to recognize like, hey, I'm just here. I'm just trying to help you out. Yes, it's my job and I do get paid for it, but I am a real person.
Yeah.
And once they get that, then they feel comfortable working with you.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of how to attract customers, do you feel, or clients, I guess is the correct terminology, do you feel like social media is a direct channel to getting clients? Or do you feel like, for instance, for us in television, our viewers on Instagram aren't always our viewers on TV? In fact, many times it's not the case. So do you feel like there's that separation of social media versus someone who actually picks up the phone and calls you?
I think that's a great question. And I think what you're looking for is engagement and conversations. So if you can have meaningful conversation with people that are in your target audience, in my case, there are people that are helping buy and sell real estate in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. We're very clear about that. We also have a nationwide network of other agents where we can help you. And we've had the benefit of, hey, I'm in this Chicago and I need to sell my home there. I know nobody. I feel like I resonate with you who are like you in that area, in which case we've got a nationwide network we can refer that person to. So it has had some ripple benefit nationwide, but the target audience generally is people in our own backyard.
So someone who's out there who's, most of our viewers are people who are looking to buy or sell a home or maybe buy an investment property. What should they look for when they're trying to find an agent and maybe they see you on Instagram or someone else on Instagram doing some funny video? But where is their due diligence in terms of finding the right agent for them?
It's a great question. I think you want someone that's going to connect with you and a human in a real way. You also want someone that's, yes, they're humorous, but they also, they know how to represent you in your best interest. So be very clear from a buyer perspective or an investor perspective. You want someone that's going to represent you and show up in that way. If you're a seller, you want someone that's got reach and has got a magnetism to get eyes and other agents in the community to your property to sell it. So you want the ability to have both. And that's where I think someone on social media that's putting themselves out there, there could be a tendency for someone to be on social media and do no business. So we feel fortunate that we're doing a lot of business, but we're still able to put out content. The way we do it is we have a calendar format. So we're very structured with that, where 90% of the time, 95% of the time, we're with clients interacting in real estate. The 5% of the time we set aside is very intentional, so we can structure content and put it out there in a meaningful way.
So where does the whole marketing part of real estate go? If you could look into your crystal ball, and we're in this moment where, people sharing videos is huge for exposure, but where do you think this goes? What is the next thing?
It's a great question. I mean,
it's a hard question.
It's a hard question because you think of the iteration of social media in general, where we started at Facebook.
Yeah. No. It's just, it probably started before MySpace.
MySpace.
Where I had all my favorite friends ranked.
It started with the Napster. No.
Yeah. Just LimeWire, downloading all the viruses.
I'm trying to think of what's one before that. I don't know any before LimeWire. I'm like, I said, Morgan, the rubber met the road at LimeWire.
Okay, glad we could hash that out. Yeah, so where does it go, right? Because technology evolves.
It does. I think in general, people connecting with other people in a meaningful way is what the human experience is about. I don't think that AI or robotics can replace that, the realness that we have in the human experience. And so if we're looking at platforms and evolutions of social and interaction, it goes back from millions of years. We're meant to be together with people. we can't isolate ourselves so much that we're completely in a silo.
Mm.
So I think if you have channels that are ability to speak your voice and articulate, it resonates with people, and you build your tribe in that way, that creates meaningful conversations. And so the next iteration looks like where there's so much AI and there's so much, I think there's a tendency where people are massively skeptical because you don't know what's real
Right.
or not. And so the more real you can become or just are, and you share that visibility to the world, those are the ones that are going to succeed in the long term.
Maybe the pendulum will swing back to picking up the phone and just talking with people, because that's the way that people used to do business. And then it turned to texting, and you've got these people who are like, well, I like to pick up the phone and call someone. And maybe social media is that way to see who a person is without picking up the phone, which is what we used to do. So who knows, maybe we'll swing back to that.
Totally.
Mike, thank you so much. It's fun as always. Hopefully you out there have gotten a better idea of how real estate agents market to you, the buyers and sellers. Thank you so much for watching Turnkey on Queen City News Plus. We'll see you next time.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.